Okay, hi everybody. This is Valerie VanBooven. We're going to talk about leads. We need more leads today. And I'm glad you're here. Hope everybody's doing okay, staying well out there. And if you hear me sniffle, I am not COVID sick. I just have a sniffle like that. It's mainly because the heat's on in the house here. I'm in the middle of the United States, and so it's cold, and we have the heat on, and the dry air makes my nose run. So sorry if I sniffle. If you hear a dog bark, it's because we have dogs. They are out of this room, but I still may hear them in the background. Sorry. It's that time of day when all the UPS drivers deliver, and FedEx and Amazon up and down the street. So we have lots of barking happening right now. All right, we have over 125 people registered for this webinar. This is going to be a good one, and I'm so glad you're here. I know you can hear me and see me, so we've already tested that. So what I want to do is give you a little like tutorial here. You have a little control panel for this webinar, and one of the sections is Q&A. It's really important that if you have a question, you use Q&A, not chat, because Q&A will follow this video, and so we want that Q&A. So under questions and answers, if you have a question, please put it there. I answer questions at the end of the webinar so that people who need to get on with their day can get on with their day, and anybody who wants to stick around and listen to the Q&A section can listen to Q&A. So all the questions that you might have go under the Q&A section. I'll answer them at the end, but don't wait till the end to type them in because I'm quick. So if I'm talking about something and you have a question about it, be sure to type it in while I'm talking about it, and that way I'll answer them in the order received. Okay, so welcome. This is Valerie VanBooven. I am a registered nurse and the co-owner of Approved Senior Network Marketing. And I'm going to do a little commercial right now. So if you like, and I know you will, what you're about to see, then you're going to want to join our mastermind. And when you join our mastermind group, this is for an entire year. There will be some Fridays that we miss. It's going to be on Fridays. We're going to do a group Zoom call every Friday starting January 21st. And if you like what you see today, then you're going to get a lot more detail and a lot more help and a lot more support over the course of the next year with your marketing. If you're a client of ours and you're in any of our publishing programs, recruiting, or Google ad programs, this is free for you. You do not need to use this link. If you're my client, if you're our client, you do not need to go here and sign up. You need to send us a ticket through support, and we will make sure you're added in. I sent an email out about this a while back. I will send it again. If you're not our client, if you've never been our client, that's okay. If you're a startup, that's okay. If you're a longtime veteran home care agency owner, that's okay too. Go to this link. It's bit.ly/HCM2022. Go there and sign up. There is a fee for this program. It is $57 a month, but that's at least four. There might be some holidays in there, vacations and that, but 4 times a month, you get to talk to me and the rest of the people in the mastermind. I'm not the only one. I'm not the smartest person in the group. The idea is that we share and work together, and we do better in 2022 than we did in 2021. And it's not just about marketing, it's also about recruiting. And I know everybody can use help with that. So if you're our client, send a ticket through support, you get in for free because you're already paying and you're already our client. If you are not a client, please join us. If you can't attend, every single meeting will be recorded, and you can always watch the replays. Any materials that I might present a little bit at each meeting, of course, we have an agenda, things like that. Any materials that I share will be with the information from that recording. If we are going to miss a date, then I will let everybody know in advance. It's every Friday. I want to say, I can't remember that once you register, you get the list of days and times. It's always on Fridays. It's around lunchtime. I think it's 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Mountain Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time. And again, and here's one more thing I want you to know about our mastermind this year. If you register, let's say your name is Jane Smith and you're the owner of ABC Home Care, but you have 2 people in your office that you know need to watch those videos or need to participate, or maybe you're going to take turns participating or whatever it is. The people in your office can also join under your membership. So if Jane Smith signs up at $57 a month, the office people in her office that will be the people that are going to be listening, or also will be listening, including her, don't have to pay. They can sign up under her. So sign up one person in your office, just one $57 a month person. And when you do, everybody else in your office can get in for free. We'll take care of that on the back end. We'll ask you for email addresses, names, so we can send them out reminders and things like that. So we try to make this as cheap as possible. But I will tell you that when we've done this in the past, if people don't have skin in the game, they let this go to the back burner. So skin in the game is important. Affordable it is. And anybody in your office can attend under one membership. So please, 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 this is going to be great. When you register, make sure you let us know who else in your office needs to be included. And if we're not sure, we'll send you a little email and get it all sorted out for you. We will send out all the reminders that you need. So if you're not our client, go to bit.ly/HCM2022. And if you are our client, please send a support ticket to us. Do not go here. You're already in. And as long as you're in one of our publishing programs or our recruiting or our Google Ads program, you will get in for free. But you have to raise your hand. You have to tell us. We don't automatically enroll you. And we want participation. We want you guys to engage, okay? So watch what goes on here today. I know you're going to love it. And when you join the mastermind, you're going to get tons of this all year long. All right, so let's go. I think I already talked about this. If you have any questions, put them in the Q&A section on your little dashboard. If you want to contact us, the best way to do that is to go to our website, asnmarketingplan.com, ASN, as in Approved Senior Network, marketingplan.com, and then /contact-us. Or just go to asnmarketingplan.com and click on Contact Us. You can also call and leave a message at 888-404-1513, and we will email, text, and call you back. All right. We're going to talk about getting more home care clients in person and online. This is about generating leads. I know there are newbies here, and I know there are veteran home care agency owners here. There are also people who are not home care agency owners. There are people who have other senior care type businesses. So I use the words home care, but if you do own a care home, if you are an elder law attorney, if you are a care manager, if you are a senior placement person, whatever your role is, all of this applies to you. And it might not be you doing all these things. It might be someone in your office, but all of these things are very doable. If you have no budget, we're going to talk about those things. If you have some budget, we're going to talk about those things. Okay, so in-person and online marketing, how to get more home care clients or more senior care clients. A little bit about Approved Senior Network marketing. Approved Senior Net, yeah, through Approved Senior Network Marketing, same company. We have been in business since 2008. I'm a registered nurse by trade. We do digital marketing for home care agencies and all kinds of different senior care businesses. We do not help plumbers, lawyers, roofers. We're not a generalist. We are specific to you and your market because that's where I come from. And that's the market we understand the best. So for almost 14 years now, we're getting close to our 14-year, I guess we might be at our 14-year anniversary. We have been providing websites, social media, leads, everything you can imagine. We do it all. So everything I talk about here today, we do it or have done it. And we do it for our clients all the time in the digital marketing space. Comprehensive online marketing, organized lead and recruit acquisition. We do recruiting. And for the senior care market, it's the only market we've been in. And that's because I have a background in healthcare, and that's where I come from. And that's the market we know. We understand what you're going through from every aspect. So we get it. Okay, so next I want to tell you what successful senior care businesses are doing right now. And this has been true for a very long time, and you can't stop doing one thing. You have to kind of balance all of these things and work on them as you can. So number one is building referral partners. That is something we're going to talk about today. The other is community outreach. We're going to talk about that today as well. Having a superior online presence. That is so important. And many of you out there haven't taken that seriously, maybe ever. It got way more serious in 2020. When the pandemic got serious, people turned to digital marketing and did better. But people are on their screens. This is where your clients are finding you, right here. So if you're not good here, you're not going to get the leads you deserve. So we're going to talk about that. Recruit and retain 24/7, 365. You're always recruiting. That's never changed. It's more intense now than ever. It's crazier now than ever, but you need to recruit and retain for sure. So the first thing we're going to talk about is in-person marketing. This is your referral partners. This is getting more leads through referral partners. We're going to talk about some stuff that I've learned over the years that I think that you guys can walk away with. Whether you have a big budget or no budget, you can do this. So we're going to talk about door-to-door marketing. And I don't mean knocking on people doors. I mean knocking on business. This is business-to-business marketing. So you going to assisted living facilities, you going to rehab, that's the door-to-door I'm talking about. We're going to talk about leave behinds, super important to know about, print material, networking events, nonprofit support, volunteering, snail mail, and speaking and presenting. All of these things you can do on a very low or no budget. Have you ever heard of sweat equity? Sweat equity means, so if you're building a house and you're doing a lot of the work yourself, you're getting in there and you're putting in the sweat and you're working hard to do some things so you can save money. This is a lot of sweat equity. And you need to, if you do not have a budget, it's up to you to get out there, to get organized, write down your goals, write down your plan, and get out there and do this stuff. Even if you're a veteran home care agency owner and you haven't done some of this in a while, or you don't have anybody on your staff doing this for you, it's important to get back into the swing of things. COVID left us in a position where we could not go door to door for a long time, but we can now in some areas. And I get it that the new variant is, really cramping everybody's style. I totally get that. It will be over. It will be over soon. It will be over mid-February. It will go away eventually. And we'll have a new variant and a new variant. And maybe, I don't know. We'll see what the future brings. But you can't stop marketing. You can't stop reaching out. So don't let that get in your way. Be creative, be respectful, and be safe. All right, let's talk about visiting door to door. All right, non-competing senior care services in your area. Who are they? So who are they to you? So if I'm a non-medical private duty home care agency owner, then we're going to talk about who some of your non-competing senior care services will be in the next slide. But you're going to want to make a list of all those people. and you're going to make some decisions. Is it okay to just show up, or should you call first? These are some things you need to think about. Usually you need to call first. At least find out what the protocol is before you just start showing up. How many places should you visit per week? How do you get past the gatekeeper, who is that person sitting at the front desk? Or if you can't get past them because of COVID, what do you do? How often do you return, and what do you leave behind? Okay, visiting door to door, we're going to talk about who. So every one of you, depending on what your business model is, what you do, you're going to have a different list. This is the list for a non-medical private duty home care agency owner or marketer. They might go to have a list of assisted living facilities in their area, rehabs, nursing homes with skilled setting or rehab, care managers, elder law attorneys, physicians' offices. And I would say you have better luck if you choose specialties like kidney doctors, neuro, people who deal with dementia more, places like that. You're going to have a better, if you can go to generals, you can go to internal medicine doctors, but if you know that you are really good at helping folks with kidney disease because you have a background in that, or you're really good with taking care of dialysis patients at home when they're not in dialysis, or if Alzheimer's is a good specialty for you, or dementia is a good specialty, then visit those kinds of offices and so make your list. Local area agency on aging, you're definitely going to want to get familiar with those folks, who's in charge, who's there, who's working, who can give you the best advice. Private duty agencies might want to team up with home health care agencies who don't have a private duty side. Home health care agencies might want to team up with a great private duty provider if they do not provide private duty. Senior home modification companies, senior movers, and funeral homes. Why funeral homes? Everybody's dying to get in. Just kidding. Sorry. Okay. Funeral homes, because when someone passes away, if there's a spouse involved, you've seen this before. They're kind of leaning on each other, the spouses, as they get older. One's got maybe a little forgetful, and the other one is not as great with eyesight, but isn't forgetful, or whatever it is. They kind of lean on each other, and when one passes away, the other one's kind of left wobbly and sad. So when they have bereavement groups, they have lots of tips and advice for the adult children and for the remaining spouse. And so having funeral homes as a referral source is a great idea. Being sensitive to the situation. So these are all places that you can put on your list. And for most of you, there are more than enough places that you can visit. In fact, getting them all in a month is probably kind of challenging. So open your Google Calendar. We're going to get super organized here, or whatever calendar you use, Outlook, paper, I don't care. Go to Google Maps. You're going to make your list of facilities, communities, and colleagues to visit within a 10 to 20 mile radius. You're only going to visit folks that you can get, you can serve in that local area. Only in the radius that you can serve. You're going to visit those. You're going to make, if you are someone who has time, 0 clients, and nothing else going on in your life, if you're a brand new newbie, or if you have a marketer out there who's doing this for you, 3 visits per day, 15 visits per week, put everything on your calendar, map it out on your map, on your Google map or whatever map you want to use, hit these 3 on this street, and then tomorrow these 3 on this street, or whatever it is. Don't make yourself drive across town 40 times. Keep it simple. You can get 3 visits in pretty quick if they're all in the same little area. Put everything on your calendar, hold yourself accountable, hold the marketer accountable, call first if you need to, at least find out what the protocol is for visiting, what it is for leave behinds, things like that. Make notes about each location, the date you visited, and who you spoke to. All of that's not going to seem like a big deal to you in the moment, but it's going to seem like it is going to be a big deal to you down the road. As you start thinking about, well, when was the last time I went to ABC Assisted Living? You'll be able to look back through your notes or on your calendar or whatever, and you'll be able to see, oh, this is the date I went. This is what I left behind. So you're not duplicating. You're not, wondering if you need to follow up. You know where you've been. Get business cards everywhere you go. Add people to your newsletter list and to your CRM. If you don't know what a CRM is, it's a customer relationship management system. All of our clients have access to one for free. It's a lot like HubSpot or whatever. It's same kind of stuff, but we have a proprietary one. Anyway, add everybody to your newsletter list. If you don't have a newsletter that's going out via email, by the time we're done here, you're going to want to have one. So add people to your emailing list, put them in if you don't have a CRM, you can open up an Excel spreadsheet or Google Sheet and start adding names and emails, locations, names, what they do, what their title is. Okay. And you repeat this every week. You're going to repeat this as many times a week as you can get out there and start visiting. And if you haven't done this in a long time, if you're a veteran home care agency owner and you haven't done this in a while, maybe you can't visit 3 times a day. Maybe there's no way you're doing that, or your marketer can't. Make it 1 time a day and then make 3 phone calls. Whatever you can do to consistently get out there. This doesn't require much of a budget, gas and your time. Get out there. There's some other little things we're going to talk about that are going to require a little money, but we'll talk about that next. Leave behinds. There's something that you want to leave behind, not just your business card and maybe not just print material. Everybody has the same brochure. Let's get real about this. Everybody has the same brochure. You don't have to wow someone with your print material. I understand wanting a pretty brochure. I totally get it. You do not need to spend $1 million on brochures. That is ridiculous. If you're spending a ton of money on print material, you need to stop right now. No one cares. You're wasting trees and planets on our planet, and go plant a tree instead. So yes, I totally get it. You need to have some print material, but you could have 100, maybe 200 brochures, and that should last you quite a while. You don't need to leave piles of brochures for each place you visit. Not necessary. If someone says that they will put your brochures in their waiting room or lobby, leave 4 or 5. It gives you an excuse to go back a week later and see if anybody took any of them. Don't leave 100 brochures anywhere. It's not about the print material right now. Don't go crazy. Have business cards that are nice, that aren't totally cheap, but not super expensive, and have a nice selection of brochures, but don't go nuts. Seasonal cute items that are inexpensive. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to give you a bunch of examples for February. When you sign up for our mastermind, we're going to talk about every single month. February, March, April, May, June are really easy months. July is easy. August is hard. So we're going to talk about all the cool things you can do for these months. I even have, this is really cool. I have 12,000. In the course of 1 year, there are 12,000 celebrations. Yeah. Celebrations by month, by week, by day. There are 12,000 of them. There's never not a good idea for marketing. There's always something you can do. All right. Home health care and facilities who bill Medicare. Oh, don't show my stuff. That's me doing that. Home health care and facilities who bill Medicare may not be receptive to gifts. They shouldn't be receptive to gifts. It's the law. Do not give gift cards. Do not give anyone anything that is a value of over $10. It's a Safe Harbor Act. It is not something you should be doing. But something little and cute never hurt anybody. So, and it depends on who you are. You abide by your regulations, your laws, your routine, whatever it is your company says you need to do. Here are some samples for February of 2022. So what you're going to see on my screen, I've got 2 slides for this. I want you to see what I'm talking about. First thing to know is everything I show you can be purchased at the dollar store, printed on your own printer, or maybe at Office Depot if you don't have a good color printer. Or you could go to orientaltrading.com, orientaltrading.com, where they sell junk in bulk, like dollar store junk in bulk. You can go there and order in advance. And keep in mind right now, we have shipping issues. I said Oriental Trading. I don't know where this stuff comes from, but I'm going to guess it doesn't come from, most of it's probably made in China. I don't know. So plan ahead. Like right now, you should already have February done, unless you got a good dollar store nearby. If you're going to use Oriental Trading. For March, you'd want to go ahead and order now and get some little trinkety items. Make sure you know what you're going to do and then do it. I will tell you, when I was a care manager or whatever you want, discharge planner in a hospital for many years, and we had a couple of home care agencies that would come by. Now, it was a lot easier back then, but we had a couple of home care agency owners or marketers that would come by, and they were so fabulous. I did not care about getting gifts. No one asked for gifts. They weren't supposed to leave gifts, but they were just the cutest little ideas. And I was always like, oh my gosh, these people are so crafty and so cute and so detail oriented. I didn't care about the gifts. It wasn't really, it was like a little package of M&Ms or something. It wasn't about that. It was like how cute the little thing was. It was so great. And yes, I remember them to this day. So right here at the top, this is not a gift. This is something sort of like an example. Now, this is off of Etsy, but you can make any kind of thing like this on Canva, Canva, canva.com. You can make these little cards like this and just print them out in color, send them over to Office Depot, print like 6 to a page, and then cut them up. This is you doing stuff on a budget. And print them up and then put them with your gifts. So bottom left-hand corner, you can see they just made, these are little handmade little things. You can probably get these little cute buckets. I mean, these are small. These are not big buckets. You can get these at the dollar store, and this is just a little ribbon. You can make that. You can do that yourself with a spool of ribbon, a couple spools of ribbon, different colors, and some little sweet tarts. I mean, come on. This could not be more than a couple dollars right here. And if you made 10 of these and you went to 10 different locations and dropped them off, that's it. I mean, you can make 20 of them if you want to, whatever, but you don't have to spend a lot of money to make something little. This is cute too, and it's even cheaper. These are just little bags with, a little bulk candy in them, and you are the heart of my business. Or I appreciate your referrals or whatever. And you can see that these talk about real estate, but you can change this card to say anything that you want. It doesn't have to be about real estate. It can be about any business. So these are the kinds of things that might be really helpful. And you may not be remembered the first time you drop them off, but the second, third, or fourth time you drop something off, you're going to be remembered for how cute these things are. So it's a nice thing to do. You don't have to do it. Leaving your business card and brochure is fine, but guess what? 5 other home care agencies who are doing the right thing are going to leave their business cards and brochures behind. Make sure that if you do something cute like this, that you make sure your business card is attached to the back of this or attached to these little things somehow. Don't leave it separate. Make sure it's attached or glued on to the bucket or whatever, so people know exactly where that came from. Here's another one. This really isn't holiday oriented. It's just in case you need a break. They're Kit Kats. There's another one. This one at the top says, don't gamble on patient care. Send your referrals to JGPM or whatever. So don't gamble on patient care. Send your referrals to ABC Home Care or whatever you do. And they put a little card on there. Get it? Gambling, right? And then looks like they have a little piece of some little dice in there. It's just cute. It's not expensive. It doesn't, have any value. It's just cute. and memorable. And then these are handwritten, which might be a better way to go. You don't have to do a whole lot of creativity. You can just handwrite a note with a little heart. This looks like it might be a little more expensive. You and your referrals are the heart of my business. So it depends on what you can afford to do. But these are so easy. And all you have to do is Google this word, leave behinds. You can Google leave behinds for Valentine's Day. Now, March is easy. What do we have? We have St. Patrick's Day. There's a whole bunch of other things too that are kind of senior related. So there's a lot of things that you can do. We've had some contests in the past for best marketing for the month of or whatever. And gosh, people are amazing the stuff they come up with. And trust me when I say your competitors, yes, they are doing this because we had a lot of submissions. So this is something I recommend. Small budget items, do it yourself, sit down with your teenagers or your 10-year-olds or your 8-year-olds at home and put a bunch of these together. All right, print material. I'm going to make a recommendation for everyone new or old in this business. Keep it simple. Don't waste a whole ton of money on print. Keep a couple hundred of these. And if you're getting low, order another couple hundred. Do not order thousands of, or even hundreds of brochures. Just keep it simple. 100 is probably all you need to get started. Maybe even less. Depends on what you're going to do with them. They're all over the place. You can spend a lot of money having one designed. You can go to Vistaprint and have something simple designed. You can go online and find all kinds of different examples. Keep it simple. The other thing I would recommend about logos, if you're brand new and you don't have a logo, simple is good. Having an angel with 1,000 feathers and a giant heart and a stethoscope and all kinds of crazy other stuff in the same logo, make it simple. No one cares about your logo. They care about you caring for their patients. They care if you can staff their cases. That's really what they care about at this point. So keep your logos and your colors simple. If you stick with primary colors, or you can see some of these light purples, you see how they stick with the same color genre here, the off the teals and whatever. If you stick with that, it makes printing so much easier. It makes everything easier. Don't overspend on print material. It's not worth it. People are not going to, it's going to end up in file 13 as at some point, right? I'm not saying don't have print material. Yes, you need business cards. Yes, you should have a few brochures. And no, they shouldn't be totally jank store. But you don't need to go crazy. And I see people going crazy on this all the time. Don't do it. All right. Next, we're going to talk about networking events. And by the way, if you have questions about anything I've just talked about, go to the Q&A section and type in your question. Be specific so I know, because we're going to go through a lot of stuff here. Q&A section, type in your question, and I will answer questions at the end. Networking events. Go to your local area agency on aging. Find out what they're hosting or what they're doing or what networking events they recommend, because typically they're in the know about everything. The director of your local area agency on aging usually knows all the tea about what's going on. Social worker groups, local long-term care groups, they're called all kinds of different things. They're collaborations, they are co-ops, whatever they are. Find out when those groups meet, what the requirement is to be a member, if you can come as a guest once, just to see if it's going to be a good fit for you. There are women's groups, chamber meetings, Rotary Club, and special interest groups. You know what I'm talking about. There's lots of things you can belong to. Cost is a big deal, especially if you're on a budget. I think being a member of your chamber is pretty important, especially when you're first getting started. But you can spend a lot of money on a lot of these different groups. So here's something that someone told me one time. I'm going to pass on to you. Important to know. A woman said this to me, and it stuck with me for the rest of my life. If I'm not going to get leads from this group, I'm not going to attend this group. And she didn't mean that in a mean way, but what she was saying is if everybody in the room does the same exact thing, or there's nobody in the room that understands what I do, it's not going to be for me. I'm not here for social hour. I am going to be social, but I can't keep spending money unless I know that there are potentials for me to do things like have a booth or present my information or give an educational presentation or network with people who can definitely use my services, or they can, or we can share referrals or whatever. So just keep that in mind. You don't have to be hardcore about it, but when it comes to spending money on joining some of these things, keep that in mind. The frequency, are you able to attend? What's the frequency of the meetings? What's the attendance requirement? Some of them have that. Are there speaking opportunities? Are there showcase opportunities? All of that is important. So find out more about that group. Do they have a website? That's another thing I think we don't ask enough. A chamber is probably going to have a website. And a lot of times the website is a big draw because a link from that chamber group's website to your website is really valuable. And your listing on that chamber website is valuable. So find out all these things before you start joining networking groups, because it can get expensive and you can spend a lot of time going to lunches that amount to nothing. Okay, in person, the rest of the options. Here are all the other options, and there are probably more. I'm sure that you guys have other things that you've done that I haven't even listed here. Nonprofit support. The Alzheimer's Walk in the fall is always a good option. Having t-shirts printed if you have the money or the time or whatever, having a team, taking lots of pictures, doing the walk, really important. There's also, Parkinson's, there's all kinds, there's cancer, there's anything you can think of. Anytime you can support a nonprofit that's local to you, that's great. It might be a nonprofit that has nothing to do with healthcare that you want to support. Take pictures. Celebrate your support of that group. They're appreciative of you. So you should celebrate it too. You should put it on your Facebook. You should do all those things. Volunteering. Absolutely. Use your time wisely, support your community. Maybe it's at your church. Maybe it's at a local food bank. Whatever it is, volunteer. Use your time wisely. Make sure your shirt says who you represent and volunteer. What you wear and the magnet you stick on the side of your car is always important. You do not have to spend $2,000 on a car wrap in order for people to know what your phone number is. You can get a magnet from Vistaprint and stick it on the side of your car and go that route. Snail mail. Snail mail means U.S. Postal Service. If you don't know what snail mail is. Snail mail is slow mail. Email is fast mail. So snail mail, keep it simple. Handwritten notes go a long way. If you know that you would like to give somebody a gift for referring and there's no way they can accept it, or they refuse that gift because they're not allowed to take gifts, a simple handwritten thank you note is just as good. And please thank everyone for their referrals. A personal note goes a long way. Speaking and presenting. Always look for opportunities to showcase your business or educate. Wait, I'm going back to snail mail. Do not spend a bunch of money on mailers. Do not send out your brochure to a bunch of people that aren't expecting it. If somebody calls in the office and wants more information and they want something in the mail versus email, absolutely send them something. But if you start sending out snail mail and you're not only paying for postage, but all those brochures that you just printed, there's a high probability that that's going to see file 13 or be in a pile on someone's desk and never see the light of day. Don't do it. Or do it sparingly. If you cannot get in to see someone, or you're following up and you really want to send them something, a personal handwritten letter is way more effective with your business card than anything else. When I get a thank you note, I am almost shocked anymore that I get a thank you note from people. It just doesn't happen that often. And it really is a good way to connect personally with someone. So snail mail is great, but keep it low cost. Okay, speaking and presenting, always look for opportunities to showcase your business or educate. If you're not a great speaker, maybe somebody else in your office is brave enough to get up. Practice in front of a mirror. Practice in front of your spouse, your significant other, your kids. They'll probably giggle. But speaking and presenting is important. take that leap. The first time sucks. But if you can just get through it, talk about your business, talk about why you're in this business, your passion for why you want to help seniors or whatever it is you do, that's going to be really important. And people will sense your passion and commitment for this, even if you're a nervous wreck. They will understand how important this is to you. So just express that and you'll get through it. And it gets easier over time. It gets easier. It took me a long time to get comfortable presenting in front of 1,000 people. But now it's like, you just have to be yourself. Okay, so always look for opportunities to showcase your business or educate. If you're asked to do an educational presentation, do not turn it into a commercial 100% for your business. Yes, say what you want to say about your business at the beginning or at the end, but do not make it an entire presentation about what you do and how you do it and you. If you're asked to educate, make sure it's educational. People get really irritated when you turn an educational presentation into a commercial. Zoom calls and webinars. I find that this is a great way to practice your speaking and presenting, at least to get over that fear. Like what I'm doing right now for you, easy stuff. Put together a presentation, get on a Zoom call, send out an invitation. Also, partnering with someone else in your community to present is a great idea. So if you're friends with some or have colleagues or marketing partners that are doctors or maybe an assisted living facility director or someone else in your community, you can both go to your mailing list. You can both invite everybody to your presentation. Maybe it's something about dealing with difficult times in Alzheimer's disease, difficult moments, or whatever it is. Have those webinars, invite people for free, record them like we're doing today, and then put them on your YouTube channel, put them on your Facebook, put them on your website. Don't just use it one time. Make sure those recordings are there and they're evergreen and they're forever. Zoom calls and webinars are a great way to do. They're not really in person, but face-to-face kind of stuff. And that's really gotten pretty popular in the last couple of years. In-person speaking, I just talked about that. And then practice. If you don't have an elevator pitch, which is being able to say what you do in a sentence or two, boom, just like that, practice it. What do you do? Don't say the same thing everybody else does. What is different about you? And your passion and why you got into this business. And if you're a veteran home care agency owner and you haven't done any of this in a long time, because a lot of us haven't due to COVID, get back into it. You got lots of states that are wide open, some states that are on total lockdown, but either way, it's not going to last forever. So get back into being able to speak and present and getting into meetings again. Okay. We're at the point now where we're going to talk about online marketing. If you have any questions, go to the Q&A section and be sure to put your questions in there. I don't see any questions in there, so you're going to want to put some questions in there if you have questions about anything I just talked about. All right, online marketing. Okay, these are the strategies. These are the ways you can market online. There's organic search, paid advertising, social media, buying leads, and email marketing. We're going to talk about each of those. Organic search. First of all, what is organic search? That means I type in Home Care St. Louis and your website comes up. You didn't pay for it to be there. It just naturally shows up. And I see it and I click on it. So let me ask you this. Can people find you online? If not, why not? Do you have a website? Oh, I can't even believe I'm asking that. Oh my God. Please have a website. Is your website fast loading? Does it solve their problem instantly? When I look at your website, do I see the solution to my senior care problem right in front of me? I want to. Is it old and outdated? 3 years old is old and outdated. Our technology changes by the minute. If your website is old, and trust me when I say it's easy for your website to get old and you not realize how old it is, please look into redoing your website because you are going to start to lose rank. Even if you're number one on the first page of Google, if you look at all the major home care franchises or senior service franchises that exist out there, every 3 to 4 years, they redo their websites, sometimes even more often than that. They redo their websites because they all need to be freshened up. They all need a fresh look. They all need to be updated. Yours does too. It's no different. Okay, is your contact information at the top of the home page? And I mean, I don't want to have to search for your phone number. If I have to search for it, you've lost me already. Please make sure your phone number is at the very top of the home page. Does it look good on mobile? Remember, everybody's on this. So if your website looks like crap here, you're never going to get a lead online. Is the phone number clickable? This seems like a real simple goofball thing for me to say, but if you look at your website and the phone number at the top of your site is not clickable, losing it. You're going to lose people if it's not clickable. I do not want to type in your phone number. Let me click on it and then it just dials. That's how lazy we are. My brain, frankly, can't remember your phone number to go switch screens, type it in, make sure it's clickable. Another thing about your website, and remember, for online marketing, folks, your website is the hub for everything. I've said this for 13 years. Your website is where it all begins, especially in 2022. It's 2022. Your website is your very first way people get to know who you are. You have to have a good website. It's one of the best investments you can make. In 2022, here we go. Your website is in the top 5 of the most important assets your business owns. Top 5, maybe top 2. I don't know. I'm a little biased, but top. It's worth an investment of money and time. Yes, it is. It's worth updating. If you've already invested money and time, that's great. But if it's not doing what you want it to do, things change. Invest a little bit more in it. It's always going to give you a good return. It is worth showing up on the first page of Google. If you can invest enough time and energy and money or whatever you're doing with an organization that can get you to the first page of Google, it's absolutely worth doing. It's worth being updated regularly. I've said that 5 times now. You should own your website and all of the content. You should own your website and all of the content. If you want to walk away from your current website provider today, they should bundle up your website in a little bundle and hand it to your new provider and say, here you go. It should be that easy. Now it's up to your new web provider to figure the rest out. But it should be that easy. It's your content. It's your website. It shouldn't be held hostage. And a lot of these organizations out there, I won't name them here, hold your website hostage. And you don't want to do that. Bundle, move. That's it. Do not underestimate the power of a well-built website that will provide new clients and inquiries for years to come. Your website will pay for itself tenfold. If you spend $2,000 on a website, that's not unreasonable at all. In fact, that's probably pretty cheap if you have a good website. You do not need to spend $10,000 on a website unless you're a giant organization. You do not need to spend $30,000, $50,000. No. But if you spend $2,000 on a website over the course of a year, you get 5 leads from that, and they're 20 hours each. I think you've probably paid for your website more than once. So, yeah, it's worth it. And that is where people are going to find you today. That's their first impression of you. If you have a jank store website, you're done. Your prospects are on their screens. Okay, you're done. Okay, here's a website. Guess whose website this is? Oh my gosh, that's mine. Ours. What? Okay, so when I tell you that your website should look pretty, it should look pretty, but it should also look good on a mobile device. So I took this screenshot. There's places you can go online to get a screenshot of what your website looks like in all different ways. So big screen, a laptop screen, a tablet screen, and on a phone. And it looks good in all those places. If yours doesn't look like this and it doesn't load fast in all of these places, then you have an issue and you need to get it fixed. All right, website must-haves for 2022, speed, speed, speed. If you're using GoDaddy shared hosting for $4.99 a month, you have no speed. Clear call to action, professional image, lead capture, and mobile responsive. Mobile responsive means it shows up on a mobile phone really nicely. So these are the important things, and also search engine optimization. I'm not going to go into all of that because that's not what this is about today, but a good website developer and a good SEO partner are worth it. Your website is your number one representation, your number one representation. Other than your beautiful face at a networking event, shaking hands and looking people in the eye with your mask on, your website is where people are going to go to get to know you. It's their first impression. It's their first introduction to you. It's their first decision about what they're going to do next. It's the first phone call that they make. Make sure that phone number is clickable. And it's their first hope for a solution. You know as well as I do that when people call you and they find you, they are usually in some kind of crisis. And they're usually really desperate for a relief or help. You are their first hope for a solution. So make sure your website says that, talks about solutions, and that you're there to pick up the phone when they call. Your website needs to be fast loading on mobile, easy on old eyes. So if you look at these websites that you see in front of you on the screen here, you'll notice that the contrast is pretty high. And we do that on purpose. It meets the criteria that Google sets forth. You cannot have janky looking websites that have text that's not big enough, bold enough. It needs to be easy on old eyes. You should be on the first page of Google. Your website should be comforting and hopeful and provide solutions instantly. Here's how to know if you need a new website. If you are thinking about, oh my gosh, well, I said 3 years old. 2 years old, you need to start thinking about it. 3 years old, you need a new website. It may need a technology update. You may have outdated information on your website. That's what I see a lot of, outdated information, outdated employees, pictures that shouldn't be up there because those people haven't worked for you in 3 years, whatever. It may be slow on mobile and desktop. It may have an outdated look. It may be on a subpar platform. It may not be mobile responsive. It may not have any SEO. It may have broken links and images. We see that a lot. It may have 404 errors and broken pages. We see that a lot. So if you look at this screen, you can see at the top right-hand side, there's an old website. Our clients were with us for a long time. They finally let us redo their website. Their beautiful new website is on the bottom, mobile responsive, search engine optimized, and it just went live not too long ago, but it's doing great. If you want a free audit, you want to know more about your website because you're not a techie, but you want to know how it compares to your competition. And remember, your competitors are the big players in the market, the Bright Locals and the Home Insteads and the Right at Homes and the Comfort Keepers and Comfort Care and, Griswold. Those websites have power behind them because they are so big. So if you're an independent person, you have to compete with the big boys. If you don't have the content they have, you're never going to win. So just trust me when I say, if you want an audit, you can go to our website, asnmarketingplan.com. And I think there's a thing that says free SEO audit on there somewhere, but it's /free-SEO.-audit right there on my screen. You can take a picture of that and go to that and get your free SEO audit. Okay, now we're going to talk about paid advertising. And don't forget to put your questions in the Q&A section, not in chat. Put it in the Q&A section, and I'm going to answer questions at the end. Paid advertising. Let's talk about it. Everybody wants to know about paid advertising and buying leads. We're going to talk about that. Boy, oh boy. Here we go. Paid advertising. We're going to talk Google Ads. I do not do Bing. I do not do Yahoo. I do not do whatever else is out there. Google is the only thing we do, so I'm going to tell you what we know about Google Ads. First of all, Google Ads can be expensive. Everything can be expensive. So let's talk about the results we've had over the last year, just to give you an idea of what's going on here. The picture in front of you doesn't look like a whole lot, but what it shows you is of 32 accounts that we manage, how many leads did those 32 agencies get over the course of last year? They got, and remember, their spending is all over the map. We have people spending $600 a month on Google Ads. We have people spending $5,000 a month on Google Ads and everything in between. We have people who want to spend $10,000 a month on Google Ads. We have all kinds of players in the market, but most of our clients are in the $600 to $1,000, $1,200, up to $2,000 a month on Google Ads. We have everybody in between. So we do not, and that might seem like a lot to you depending on who you are, but $600 a month is probably the minimum anybody could spend to expect any kind of results in their local area. So having said that, of the 32 accounts we've counted, each of those clients on average, this is all averages, got about 131 leads each over the course of a year. You got to stick with it. It doesn't work in a day. You got to give it several months to see how it works. Few months, three is a minimum for us. And you can set your budget at $600 a month. And if you set your budget at $600 a month, then you're probably going to get somewhere between 5 and 8 leads, something like that. Depends on where you live. It depends on your population. If you're in West Winnemucca, Nevada, there's nobody there. But if you're in Manhattan, $600 a month ain't gonna get it. So you kind of gotta, it depends. It's a conversation that you need to have. Here's another picture. Okay, this is in the last 30 days. So this gets a little bit more down to where you can understand it better. In the last 30 days, we counted 32 accounts. There were 374 conversions. A conversion does not mean that the person became a client. It means that they either made a phone call or they filled out a form. So they are a lead. So there were 374 leads that came through. And so that means that each of our accounts got somewhere between 11 and 12 leads each. This is an average. If you were only spending $600 a month, you did not get 11 leads. And this is over 30 days. So this is December 13th through January 11th. So I took the screenshot yesterday. Okay, so that'll give you an idea of what you can expect if you're doing Google Ads. Do we do Google Ads for our clients? Absolutely. Does everybody do them? No. Nope. You do not have to do Google Ads. But just know that it's about $100 a lead. It's going to end up being somewhere between $70 and $120 a lead. If you spend more money on Google Ads, your lead cost goes down. So here are things to know. It can be expensive. Like I said, approximately $100 per lead. The more you spend, the lower your cost per lead. Don't ask me why, but that's how it is. You must follow up quickly. Even though these are exclusive to you, these are your leads and your information, these people are tired kicking and shopping, so you got to follow up right away. The person who answers the phone in your office, and this is a whole nother webinar, my heavens to mercy. The person who answers the phone in your office is accountable for speaking clearly, compassionately, and being a good listener. That's not going to get it. You have to have someone who is answering the phone professionally and is kind and compassionate and understanding no matter what the other person on the other end is doing or saying. They have to be nice, okay, and slow. The person who follows up with the lead must also be accountable for speaking clearly, compassionately, and being a good listener. You have to make sure you follow up quickly. If it's 5 o'clock in the evening, follow up quickly and make sure that you're giving that person your time and being a good listener. Find out the things that you need to find out quick. And then if they're not someone you can help, refer them on or move on or whatever, but be nice. If they're like a Medicaid person calling in, you're only private pay, be nice. Okay. So your best salesperson should be your follow-up person. So if you know that there's somebody in your office that's a really good closer, maybe that's you, maybe that's the gal that answers the phone, maybe that's your care manager or your care coordinator, whatever they are, then that person should be the person following up with these leads. Track everything. You will never know, and I can tell you from from working with lots of home care agencies and lots of senior providers, that when they come to us and say, we're not sure if this is working for us, like they're coming from another provider, I'll say, well, tell me what your numbers are. How many came in through paid advertising? How many did you follow up with? How many became clients? And they have no idea. So what we do is we track it all for you, and we make you track it. So you know how many calls came in, how many forms came in, how many, and if you're not listening to your phone calls and you're not, then we say, hey, you got to go back and listen to these. This 20-minute call right here is probably a lead. So how many leads did you get? How many forms did you get? How many calls? How many forms? So we go through that data with you so that you know what your return on investment is. So you know how many of those calls and forms actually became a client. Track everything. And then implement an automated follow-up campaign. And when I say that, when I say that, what I mean is, I'm not going to go into whole detail because that's not what we're here for today. But what we do is we have, every one of our clients has their own CRM account, sort of like a HubSpot, but it's not HubSpot. It's free to them. They use it when they're in one of our programs, and it's amazing. And we set up what's called a follow-up. So if somebody fills out a form, and whether they come from your website or pay-per-click or whatever they come from, they instantly receive a text and an email welcoming them to your family, your home care agency, or whatever you are. And then for the next 30 days, they receive a drip campaign of emails. We're going to talk about drip campaigns in a minute. It's automated. You still have to call and follow up fast, but everything else is automated. There's never an opportunity for follow-up failure. All right. If you have any questions about Google Ads, please put them in the Q&A section now, because we're going to move on to social media. Q&A section for Google Ads. All right. Social media. Does it work? Yes, it does. This is one of my favorites. She knows it. Our friends at Touching Hearts at Home in Gainesville, Florida. Oh my gosh. They are this is an example of what it looks like when you are hyper involved with your community. They are involved with so many things in their community. And this is just 1 month of posts. This is just from December. I just screenshotted their Facebook from December. I know that not only can I see the engagement that's in these posts, I can see 24 engagements, 22 engagements, 124 people reached, 91 people reached. That's a great amount of engagement for a home care agency. And it's because of the young lady right here, top, dark hair. My pointer is on her, black shirt here. It's because of her that she does this all the time. This is a family-owned and operated business. They do a great job. They are very well aware of their importance in their community, and they are out there all the time. But they don't just go out there all the time and have events, not only for their caregivers, but for the community or participate with the community. They also post that stuff on Facebook. They put it on their blog, or we do it for them. And they have a monthly newsletter that goes out. It's one of the most fun, interesting newsletters because we do it for them, but they provide all of the content, which is all of this stuff you see right here. So much fun. So this is what I know is her referral partners absolutely see this. And I am certain that she's also friends with a lot of her referral partners on Facebook. So it is worth getting involved in Facebook. It is worth, this is the age group of your audience. They are not going to be on Snapchat. I can tell you they're also not on Twitter. Facebook is your audience. You're going to ask me about Instagram. It's okay. but it's more about the imagery. Instagram is about images. And I get it that you can write stuff, but it's really about images and videos. And that's fine. If you're great at Instagram, go for it. Facebook is getting older. The demographic is getting older by the day. This is your audience. So please, please, please do not let your Facebook business page sit empty. This really does work. I know it does. I see it every single day because this is what we help our clients with. But this client in particular is really good at this. Here's another one. We do not do their social media, but we know they're really good at marketing. This is right at home of Middlesex and Northern Monmouth counties in New Jersey. And these are just some of their Facebook posts from the last few weeks. And you can just see how involved they are, how out there they are, how much fun they have in their office. I mean, it goes on and on. So this is a great group to work for, whether you're a caregiver or an office person, and it's a great group to get care with. They have an owner who is outstanding, and she's a big cheerleader. So this is what it looks like when you're really getting into it and you are really supporting your community. Yes, it does work. Facebook and LinkedIn and Pinterest are probably your best bets. Here are things to know. Pick your platform. Now, I will say this. There is a lot of good stuff on TikTok, and I never thought I would say that in a million years. Good God. But even Teepa Snow, Alzheimer's, you know who I'm talking about? Teepa Snow is on TikTok. Yeah. So there is an opportunity for you there on TikTok. You might have to do some paid advertising. It's not something I'm going to talk about today, but if you're into video and you're cute and you think you're cute, then you can do educational stuff on there, but you got to make it fun. No one's going to watch a boring TikTok. So anyway, pick your platform, whatever that is. I don't care what it is. Maybe YouTube's your platform. I love YouTube. We just hit 300,000 views. If you're not on our YouTube channel, subscribe. But Facebook, YouTube, whatever you think is your platform, oh my, pick it and stick with it. Stick with it. Go with it. Commit to it. Post every day. Maybe you can't do that on YouTube, but on Facebook, post every day. Automate them. You can schedule posts through Facebook itself. You don't have to buy a third-party software. It's free to schedule your posts through Facebook if you want to do that. But you can also just post on the spur of the moment, take a picture of where you are, who you're visiting, and post there. Celebrate your staff. People love pictures of people. That's what we're really looking at Facebook for. Facebook, we really want to see pictures of humans and people you're celebrating. Now, you may not be able to take pictures of your clients or other people's clients in an assisted living facility, for instance, but you can take a picture of each other. You can take a picture of you at your booth. You can take a picture of the sign on the front of the building, you standing in front of the sign. There are lots of things you can do that don't involve privacy of other people. So do that. Take pictures, celebrate your staff, celebrate your community, show off your stuff. If you're doing something good for your community, you need to shout it out and tell people about it. It's okay to do that. Invite your friends and family and other people to like your page and be friends with your marketing partners. I know some people are very private and they keep their personal private. You know what? I gave up on that years ago. I will say this though. I don't post anything that's super political. I don't post anything super religious. I do put my personal opinion up there about being kind to healthcare professionals. I don't tell you whether or not you need to get vaccinated. I don't tell you whether or not you, whatever it is about COVID. I don't make big statements. I will post a fact about my local area, but I will not tell you that you have to be vaccinated. I will not post anything like that. That is not my gig, but I will post pictures of my family. I will post funny things. I will post pictures of the dogs. I will post stuff from work. I gave up on separating business and personal a long time ago. We do have business pages. You should have a business page, not just a personal page that says your logo. That's not right. That's against terms of service. So you should have a business page. You should have a personal page. Also, I don't have time to go into this here. Having your own Facebook support group for dementia, Alzheimer's and dementia in your local area, do it. But again, that's something we talk about in our mastermind when you join, how to manage a Alzheimer's and dementia support group. Doesn't have to have anything to do with the Alzheimer's Association. And I even have an example of one that we manage that is international, that is amazing. And I'm going to show it to you in our mastermind. Be sure to sign up. Okay. We're going to talk about buying leads. Okay, if you have any questions about social media, go to the Q&A section. We're going to move on to buying leads. Buying leads, buying leads, buying leads. I want you to know who you're doing business with. So there are lots of places you can buy leads from. Karen Homes, topassistedliving.com, and we're going to talk about a few more. You're going to be kind of surprised at who owns them all. Okay, so buying leads, KarenHomes.com. You've heard of it. You've been there, right? Have you ever tried to buy leads there? Topassistedliving.com? I don't know. So this comes from their support. I screen captured this from their support portal for agencies. I didn't make this up. This was posted 2 years ago because you're going to ask me, how much do leads cost? Now, I don't know what today's cost is. This was posted by AJ Green 2 years ago. With a billable call cost of $55, so we're talking $55 a lead here, we anticipate an average client acquisition cost of $350 to $550. Did you hear that? Every time you get a lead, it's a $55 cost. The average client acquisition cost is $350 to $550, and that was 2 years ago. So when we go back to Google Ads and we know that you are in charge of everything that happens there, the phone calling, the follow-up, it's yours, they're exclusive. And I tell you that it's probably somewhere around $100 per lead. That's not too bad, eh? All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going to the next one. Oh, wait. Oh, that's the only way. Oh, I thought I had another. Okay. So the next one is this. Like I said, there are lots of places that you can buy leads from. Other than the two we just saw, these two right here, Karen Homes and Top Assisted Living, are owned by one group. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I looked at it yesterday. Everybody else, everyone is owned by a place for mom. So here we go. You ready? agingcare.com, assistedliving.com, alzheimers.net, nursinghomes.com, agingcare.com, veteranaid.org, senioradvisor.com, and caregivers.com. All of those places are owned by a place for mom. Every single one of them has been acquired by a place for mom. So if I hear people in the marketplace love a place for mom, they hate a place for mom, they don't like a place for mom, they blah, blah, blah. Whatever your opinion is, just know that no matter where you're buying leads from, you're probably doing business with a place for mom, unless you're with Karen Homes and Top Assisted Living. So just know that. That's just the way it is. They pretty much own it all. The only other option you have is Google Ads if you're going to do paid advertising. Some people love buying leads and they have a great return on investment, and some people do not have a great return on investment. It is all up to you and how hard you want to work with those leads. All right, next we're going to talk about, okay, so if you have any questions about buying leads, if you want to buy leads, go for it. Just know I just gave you some numbers as to what the cost per acquisition is and what the cost per call is from Karen Homes. They're probably all about the same. They may have different setups, but it's probably all about the same. So if you have any questions about buying leads, if I can answer them, I will. Go to the Q&A section and type in your question right now. All right, email marketing, email drip campaigns and newsletters. Let's talk about email drip campaigns. If you don't know what a drip campaign is, I mentioned this earlier. It's where you write a series of emails. And most people hate even the notion of writing a series of emails. So we do this for our clients, by the way. And then we have them edit them to make them say whatever, so we give them a Word document with 20 emails and then they send it back to us with any edits they have. So write a series of emails. Do this for consumers and referral sources. So in other words, if someone comes in as a lead and they're a consumer, you're going to want to have one set of emails that goes out to consumers. If you have new referral sources or old referral sources and you want to reach out to them and say howdy, then you're going to have 10 emails that are just specific to referral sources. They say different things, different audiences. Send new referral sources one email every 3 days for 30 days. So you only need like 10 emails to get that done. And then add them to your monthly newsletter, which I'm going to talk about in a second. Send new leads, meaning consumers, one email every 3 days for 30 days and add them to your monthly newsletter. So you do the same thing for both audiences, but they're two separate campaigns. And it is in your best interest to collect the largest newsletter list or email list or CRM list or contact list that you can. Every email, every business card, every website visitor you should be collecting and keeping somewhere if you do not have access to a CRM. Put it in an Excel spreadsheet. It will be so worth your time. Dig out those business cards out of your wallet, out of the bottom of your purse. I know that's where they always ended up for me. Off your desk or wherever they are. If someone emails you and their signature line is in that email and it's someone you want to have in your database, right now, put them in your database. Don't wait till that email is gone 10 days later and you're trying to find it. Put them in there. Collect as many as you can. This works best when it's automated. Put everybody in the automation. Now, if you don't have a way to do that, you have to keep track of it yourself. But you have emails that are pre-written, ready to go. All you have to do is, if you're not going to use an automated CRM like we use for our clients, all you have to do is copy and paste them, boom, hit the go button and go. Copy and paste, boom, hit the go button and go. At least they're written for you. You already know what you're going to say. That is, and they're just can be in a Word document. If they're automated, then you don't have to worry about any of that. Once they're written, they're in a system and bing, 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 they go out. All you have to do is wait for the replies. I have a client for you. Can you staff this shift? Whatever. And that's it. That's all you have to worry about. So an email drip campaign means you're dripping on them every so many days. Let's talk about monthly newsletters. Yes, they do work. So I put 3 screenshots here of some that went out recently. And we do a newsletter for every single client who's in a certain program we call the Scope program. They get a newsletter. We have a human person who does these manually, puts them together. They don't have to be a miracle, unlike your website that really needs to be nice. No, they have to be nice, but they don't have to be totally crazy, insane with lots of craziness. They can be, pretty simple and to the point. I think that's much better. You'll notice here that there are pictures and text and read more. So everything you see here on these newsletters, there's 3 across the screen here, is also posted on the client's website. And the read more button links back to their website to read the entire article. We do that on purpose because we want to get people to visit the website. And you'll see every time these newsletters go out, the traffic on their website spikes up a couple times a month or one time a month because of these newsletters. People do open them, click on them, and read them. So this is something that works. If you send out a newsletter without fail every month for 12 months, you will see an increase in revenue from the year before when you did not send out a newsletter. I guarantee it. People will reply, they will comment to you, they will talk about it. It may not be every day, but you will have people notice you do this, and it is worth it. Okay, here's another one. There's our friends at Touching Hearts at Home. I couldn't even put their whole newsletter in here. So, and then our friends at Home Helpers in Bradenton, Florida. So you can just see that yes, your competitors are sending out newsletters, and they're very personalized. They're very localized. They're not a corporate newsletter. They are newsletter for families in their local area. So you can see that they're very specific to their local area. Okay, if you have any questions about newsletters or email drip campaigns, please put them in the Q&A. I'm going to stop here for a minute. We've talked about every single thing on our list, every single way that you can generate leads. this is what it looks like when you put it all together. This is a complicated little picture, but in the middle there, you have your website and a CRM. Those two things control and organize your cargo. Your cargo is your content that's on your website, paid advertising, recruiting, your Google My Business listing, and then staying organized with your staff, your leads, your tasks, your referrals, and your recruits is all part of that. So that is a complete system. Not everybody can do all of these parts and pieces all at the same time. Some people need to do some of it on their own and then add these pieces in. I just want you to know that we're here when you want to add these pieces in or you need help with some of these pieces, we can help you. So you can visit us at asnmarketingplan.com. And don't forget, next Friday, the mastermind starts. And when you join, we're going to talk a lot about these things, give you some insider tips and insider secrets that we use to run Google ad campaigns, to do in-person marketing, to do drip campaigns, examples of everything. So you can just walk away with a template. And we're going to meet every week. Some weeks we'll have guest speakers. Some weeks we'll talk amongst ourselves. Some weeks I'll be presenting. Everything will be recorded. You have access to a private area where you can access all the videos and all the collateral material that we provide to go along with it. And that's going to be every Friday. So when you join, make sure you also let us know who else in your office should be able to listen in. And that is at bit.ly/HCM2022. So bit.ly/HCM2022. I'm going to answer a few questions in the Q&A. Will you be able to do adult foster care webinar soon? I don't know anything about adult foster care, Rosalie, but if you have some kind of need for that, you can let us know. Susan Meyer, what do you think about email requests to provide links on your website and related information? That's a good idea. I bet every single one of you gets this. Hello, this is the National Mesothelioma, blah, 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 and we want to provide you with a resource for people who have mesothelioma, blah, or whatever it is. No, the answer is no. The answer is always no. Because if you follow those links and you actually dig in and look into what those people are emailing you and asking you to do, it's always to a paid advertisement, or it's always trying to get backlinks for a lawyer or for someone who has a reason to make money off of stuff. So the answer is, if someone asks you in an email to please put their link as a resource on your website, the answer should always be no. Don't even answer them. Delete it. It's spam. No. Unless it's a colleague and they're going to put your link on their website. If you guys are going to reciprocate, guarantee you that the people who are emailing you about mesothelioma, or whatever it is, and veterans benefits, and I want to write an article for you, blah, blah, blah. No, they're not going to give you a link, so you're not going to give them a link. The end. No. Thank you for asking that, because it happens every single day. We get that. We get those too all day long. No, ignore and move on. You've got plenty of content on your website. You don't need to, contribute to that. Does anybody else have any questions about anything we talked about lead generation? I have a couple that are not in Q&A. They're in chat. We're locked out of hospital. Staff isn't listed. What do we do? Okay, well, you don't have to use hospitals to do marketing. So hospitals weren't even on my list. Did you notice that? If you go back through the slides, or not slides, if you go back through the video when I send you the recording, I didn't list hospitals because it's a bummer. And we just don't even worry about that. Now, if you go to LinkedIn and you get really good, make sure your profile's awesome, your picture's up there, and you start networking, type in the name of your local hospital and see how many employees start showing up, and start networking with them on LinkedIn. Start connecting with them on LinkedIn. Do it. If you can reach them online, that's better than nothing. So it's nice if you can connect with people on LinkedIn, do some professional networking there when you can't get in to see somebody. I don't even talk about getting into hospitals, because right now, especially, there's no point in even discussing it. So don't worry about hospitals. You have 100 other people in your local area that you can network with that could be referring to you right now. How do we automate a campaign? If you don't have a CRM, customer relationship management platform like we offer our clients, then I don't know how you would automate it. You'd have to, I don't know if Constant Contact is more like just a newsletter sender kind of a place. You could use that maybe. I'm not sure. So we do this for our clients. If you use a CRM, if you have one that you use, it usually already has a way to send out emails over the course of time, which is an email drip campaign. So those are things that would be dependent on you. If you don't have a way to automate it, then you can keep an Excel spreadsheet, keep track of your emails, keep track of what you sent to who, number your emails, and each week send out another one. If you have 10 emails, that could take you 10 weeks, or you could do it every 3 days. However, it depends on the kind of time you have and how organized you are. So you can do it yourself. You don't have to automate it. If you are on a tight budget, go ahead and do it yourself. Any more questions for me? We're about to wrap up and I'd love any more questions. Do you use the same CRM program for sales and recruiting? Absolutely, we do. So if you are in any of our programs, you have absolutely 100% access to our CRM, and you can use it for sales, marketing, and recruiting. Our CRM is designed for home care, senior care businesses, and it is for sales, marketing, and recruiting. You cannot use it for client data. It's not made for that. It's not made for staffing or scheduling. It is made for recruiting, it's made for sales, and it's made for marketing. And we help you with all of those things, so you don't have to go it alone. All right, everybody, thank you so much. I will see you. Happy New Year, everybody. I will see you on the mastermind, bit.ly/HCM2022. Please go sign up. It'll be the best year ever. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye.